Welcome.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Simsick.
And I'm Krista Williams.
Welcome to the New Paradigm Digital Workshop Series by Almost 30. Congrats. Investing in yourself is a huge deal.
Yeah, and we want you to get the most out of your experience. So we have a few guidelines that we suggest so that you really get the value for your money. One of them is telling all of your roommates, family members, partners, pets that you're going to be investing the next few hours within this workshop. We want you to not be distracted. We want you to not be interrupted. So really make sure that you're creating the container and intention that this is your time. We also want you to be comfortable. We are huge fans of being comfortable in comfortable clothes all day. So nothing should be different for us, but we want you guys to be seated in a blanket with a sweatshirt on, however you're going to feel most comfortable. Have some water next to you, have a journal so you can write down everything that's important that you're going to get from this time. Also, please note that we did do this live, so there's conversations about the chat, the people within the workshop. So those things aren't going to relate to the workshop experience that you're having, but this is minimal, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and I would say after this workshop too, give yourself time to integrate. Don't rush into anything right away. Give yourself time to really absorb what you heard, what came up for you, maybe journal, and just give yourself time to rest. But we really hope you enjoyed this workshop, and if you do, we have more where that came from. So you can visit shopalmost30.com for more New Paradigm Digital Workshop Series offerings.
Enjoy.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone feeling?
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be here on a Sunday morning.
So cozy. Thank you for joining. If you are new to Almost 30, I'm Lindsey, and I'm joined by Krista. And we started this New Paradigm Workshop Series in the wake of everything happening with COVID, and we could no longer be on tour and see you all in person. And so this was the next best thing, to be able to bring people that we love and admire and have learned so much from to you here on Zoom. And it's just been a really beautiful experience. So thank you for taking the time for yourself this morning. It's going to be unlike any other workshop that we've done. We'll talk about Josie in just a moment, but use this chat. I would love to hear where you're joining from, and would love to hear your intention. That's always a really, really beautiful way to ground ourselves in the moment and to really kind of help set the container for the next 2 hours. So let us know where you're joining from and your intention for joining us this morning. If you are new to Zoom, which I assume most of you aren't, but just in case, there are a few features that we'll be using. So the chat feature, of course, this is where you can, ask any questions or clarification. We will have a Q&A at the end, so just be mindful of that. Would love to keep most questions to the end unless it's kind of an in-the-moment question, whether you can't hear very well. We're happy to help. You can always private message us as well. The Q&A feature is what you'll be using for the questions at the end. So you can submit those at any time, and Krista and I will facilitate that the last half hour. We'll be doing a poll or two at the beginning, so just note that that might pop up on your screen. But otherwise, just make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're in a space that's quiet and private. We will be doing a healing in the second half of the workshop. So if you have space to lay down, if you have a blanket, water, all the things, just so you are comfortable and taken care of. Oh, I'm seeing people from Brooklyn, Vancouver, the UK, all over the world. Beautiful. Joining to better connect with myself, find calm energy. Me too, trying to lift my spirit to contribute to our collective healing. Beautiful. Awesome. Wonderful. So, just so you know, we're going to have a break about halfway through. So that'll be 5 minutes or so, just so you can go to the bathroom, grab water, anything you need before we lay down or get comfortable to receive healing, sound healing and energy healing from Josie and light language. So just so you know, that will be happening so you don't miss anything. And I believe that's it as far as housekeeping. You know, what's beautiful about this particular workshop is it's really all about being open to receive, and that's about it. And you will feel the effects.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I was messaging with Lindsay before this and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some healing today. So we met Josie through our dear friend Milana Snow. So if you guys know Almost 30, you probably know Milana Snow, who is one of the most powerful healers we know. And when we were going to London for tour, she said, you have to meet Josie. She's actually one of my healers. So we had her come do a healing with myself, Lindsay, and then another girl on our team. And it was just so powerful. And since then, I've had 3 healings from her in total, one private one, and then another room awakening that we did in Malibu, which was really transformative for me and really led me on my path to my mother wound healing that I talked a lot about on the podcast if you listen in the recent weeks. So, healing that wound was something that I didn't realize would be so powerful, but it is. And what I love about Josie is that she is so feminine and open and unique and special and kind. And, you know, being here in LA, me and Lindsay have access to a lot of different healers, but there really isn't anything like doing light language healing or sound healing or the way that Josie does healing. So I think this is going to be really exceptional and powerful. And I'm really looking forward to this. So Josie is in the UK, as you guys know. She's a sound healing artist. She's also a channel. And during the session, we're going to learn about light language, which is fascinating. And then we're also going to receive healing through light language and sound. And then at the end, we'll come back together and have a conversation about what we experienced. You guys can get any questions you want answered so you feel really good stepping back into today. And that you feel really empowered and that you guys receive all of the healing, you know, in the world because you deserve it. And what's exciting about this is that you also get the recording so you guys can tap into this at any time. Okay, looking forward to this, really excited. Let's welcome Josie of 11 Healing.
Hi, lovely beings. I'm so
There
honored
she is,
to be here.
future mother.
Yeah, me and Bumper here.
To have you. So glad to have you. This is, I was just thinking about, I can't believe it's been, I don't even know how long it's been since the retreat when we saw you in person, but um, Krista and I talk about that experience frequently and how powerful it was not only to be in a really intimate group with women and having the focus be on our wounds. But that was my first time experiencing light language. So I'm really grateful that we're going to be experiencing that all together today. I know we spoke before, and normally I do a little grounding with the group, and I'm like, I think Josie needs to do the grounding meditation for the group.
Yeah,
So I would love if we could start there.
absolutely. I would love that. I'm gonna quickly share some music so that I can help us to ground even deeper. So if everybody just begins just by really closing down your eyes, staying in your seated position if you're set up, and just closing down the eyes and just bringing your awareness inside, losing any of that distraction from what may be going on externally or in your life, and just knowing that this time is for you. It's for you to deeply receive, and there's nothing for you to do. And so you can feel yourself even surrendering with that knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. And as you bring all of your awareness inside, allow yourself to come into deeper presence with yourself and with your body, your beautiful body. Maybe begin to unwind your shoulders a little bit, unwinding any stress or worry or anxiety that you may be carrying, any weight. Just let it go. And maybe you just want to move your hips slightly around. Just really coming into presence with your body, connecting with your body, and bringing your palms face down on your knees to signify this grounding energy, knowing that to truly rise, to truly open, we must ground, we must be rooted, rooted to rise. And so just allow yourself to really root into your body. Bring some awareness to your breath, breathing in through the nose and letting go out of the mouth on the out breath. As you exhale, imagine that you are breathing out any tension from your body, as if every exhalation is this cloud of smoke holding residue, tension, worry, anxiety, whatever it is that you may be carrying in your system. Imagine that it's releasing now. And with every exhalation, you release more and more of that residue. And with every exhalation, you arrive deeper and deeper into this state of presence with yourself and your body and this sacred container that we are co-creating. Now, as you breathe into all that space that we're creating within you, imagine that you are breathing in from your root, from your spine. You're breathing in the energy of the earth, and it's traveling up through your spine into your heart space, as if the energy of the earth is moving through every cell, moving deep into your heart, and filling you up, feeding you. Knowing that the energy of Mother Earth is deeply nourishing, restorative, and grounding. Just allowing yourself to really receive her anchoring energy in this moment through every inhalation, receiving more and more, receiving that nourishing, healing energy of the earth, and taking exactly what you need to feel fully here, to feel like you are fully arriving, ready to receive. And as you feel in deep connection with your body and the earth, repeating this affirmation inwardly: I am present with my body, my spirit, my heart, and my mind. I am present with my body, my spirit, my heart, and my mind. Really allow those words to sink in. You are present with all parts of yourself. Every part of you is welcome here, and every part of you will be receiving in every moment of this session. Even as we speak and talk, you are receiving exactly what it is that you came here to receive, even if it isn't what you expect. So just be open and present and allow. And taking any more deep inhalations and exhalations, and really allowing yourself to arrive back into our sacred container in your own time. Maybe just opening up your eyes first into the space, and making any more movements that you feel called to make. Maybe shaking off your hands of any excess energy, any stagnation, just letting go. Letting go. Hopefully you're feeling more here now, more present. Thank you.
Thank you. I needed that. I'm sure a lot of us did. Before we let you take it away, would love to just kind of talk about our experience with you. Um, just to kind of like put into context maybe what people will experience today. I would actually love, as we're talking, for people, um, we'll launch a poll to let us know what their experience with energy and sound healing has been, just so we have an idea. But I'll just start by saying that my experience with you, especially at our retreat, was one where I felt parts of my body and a connection with parts of my body, specifically um, the womb area, that I hadn't felt before. And it was both emotional and liberating, and also kind of um, scary, I guess, because I hadn't gone there before. Can you talk about just kind of the connection to the body that people are going to experience today, and what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so, first of all, to kind of break it down in terms of thinking of ourselves, we often will just be taught or think of ourselves as this physical body. And actually, what sound reminds us is that we are energetic beings. We are all made of vibration and frequency. So, essentially, we are sound. And so when we are receiving therapeutic sound, which is, for example, these crystal bowls that I play, they are such a high frequency, such a healing frequency, that the way that they connect with our bodies, it's like it speaks to us on a cellular level. It's like there's this communication that happens that's beyond our control. We're just there, present with the sounds, and the sounds just become entrained within us and speak to us. And so, what I would also say is any instrument that we use with intention becomes a vessel for healing light if we wish it to be. So, if we are using sound with an intention to heal, it has the power to become this gateway. So, because we are energetic beings, because we are vibrational as well as feeling this physical body and everything within that, um, we still receive the sound in a very direct way, in the way that it can shift stuff. Like the fact that you felt it in your womb showed that the energy, the sound was going there, to create some shifts that maybe you didn't know needed to happen. It kind of is beyond our control.
I remember, I'm trying to think of which, maybe it's the first time with Lindsay and I in London that I heard you use light language, and I had only heard it before on like with like when people speak in tongues in certain religions. And so I was just like, wow, this is interesting. Like it felt super positive and it felt really beautiful, but it was like a little bit like, whoa, this feels like tongues. So what is like the background of light language, and when was the first time that you heard it? And then what was your journey to being able to speak like light language?
Yeah, amazing. That's a really good question and share, because so if I go back to me, it was about 4 years ago. And like you, I'd never heard light language before, even though now it seems to be really in the collective, in the consciousness, coming higher and higher. But at that time, 4 years ago, it wasn't in my awareness. And I remember I started to have these experiences when I was holding one-to-one healing sessions, where I had what almost felt like a waterfall of energy coming to my throat and getting stuck. And because of my journey with healing my own throat chakra, which has been such a journey, um, you know, finding my voice and healing my throat, I just used to think, oh wow, I'm just getting some really deep healing here as I'm working on others. But what was actually happening now was that there was a channel being opened, and I wasn't allowing it to come out because I wasn't aware. And so it was really getting stuck, all this energy. And so one thing led to another, and I started to have these dreams essentially not long after that, where I was speaking in what I called tongues, because that's all I knew. I'd seen it in church and in different settings, people praying in tongues. And so when I was in my dreams, and I was almost in the dreams, I was literally in my bed and I was speaking in tongues, and it really freaked me out. Like so
Hmm.
much fear. I would wake myself up and like scream and wake up my partner and be like, what is going on? Like, this is so strange. And then, strangely or not so strangely, a few weeks later, I booked myself to receive on a sound healing. And it was like I took myself on this date and I was like, I'm going to this. I just feel I need to be there. And the person that was there, Yantaro Euro, he flew in from Japan and he was holding the session and he started singing in another language. And it sent shivers down my body. And at the end, I said to the person, wow, what was he singing? It was otherworldly. And they said, oh, that's light language. And then my whole body kind of just vibrated. And I was like, whoa, two and two together. I think that's what's been coming through me. So then I brought it into my waking consciousness, essentially. I brought it in, and the first time was very intense. My ego was trying to fight it, saying, what is this? Like, it's strange. Like, what if people hear you? But I could hear that voice, and it didn't match with the feeling that was coming with the light language, and I just allowed it to come through, and it kind of shattered that inner critic and really created some of the most profound shifts I've ever had in my voice and my throat, and I've used it ever since. And for anyone who's listening who's like, what on earth are you talking about? What's light language? To try and like explain, it's essentially energy, vibration, frequency coming through the voice. So it's not that your human mind needs to translate it or needs to understand what it means. It's much more about what it feels like. It's something to be felt and experienced. And so what I started to notice, I was kind of intuitively guided by spirit to start using it in my sessions. And when I did, really intense, profound things were happening. So I would channel this light language, which sounds like other dialogues. So it is said that these dialogues can come from star systems, angels, Mother Earth. There's thousands of them, limitless, millions of languages that are lost that we can channel. Um, and so I remember one of the first times I shared it, my client at the end was in tears, and I said, are you okay? I'm sorry if that scared you. I know it's a little strange. I didn't really tell her that I was going to do it. And she said, no, 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 I just can't believe you speak Hebrew. I didn't realize. And she translated, of course, I can't speak Hebrew, but whatever I was channeling was speaking to her soul. And she said, I was saying, see the light, let the light in. And she translated it for me. So I think it was from that moment I knew, wow, I really need to honor this channel so deeply and I need to share it.
Wow. I got chills.
I just got chills too.
You said that.
Um, with that, your experience in, oh yeah. Sorry, what was your experience healing your throat chakra? Coming to the point where you were creating that channel, because I think a lot of women, I can relate, have a lot of throat chakra healing to do. So how did you heal your throat chakra?
Oh, wow. Well, for me, it was first recognizing where the blockages came from. And actually, when I looked back, my throat had been really shut down all my life. I'd always had this suppressed voice where I didn't feel like I wanted to take up space. I wanted to be small, and I found it a struggle to speak up. So that ancestrally is in women and in the feminine a lot as well. It's like this deep fear that we have of being seen that we carry. So there was a lot of that I needed to shift. But for me, healing the throat, it's always multidimensional. And what it took was actually allowing myself to be heard. It was actually going into all of the spaces that felt so scary and just doing it, just going to I went to loads of sister circles, and I would shake when it got to my turn to share what I was going through. And the more I did that, the more I sat in a place where it felt safe, whether it was therapy with a healer or a sister circle or whatever it is, if you put yourself in those situations, you will begin to grow. You will begin to allow your throat to thrive. You know, I think that was the main medicine for me.
You mentioned the ego as well. And so I just wanted to bring that up because I even notice when I'm receiving healing that like my ego or my mind starts to like wiggle its way in and doubt what I'm experiencing or just kind of like label certain things that happen. So I just love to talk about the ego and what we can expect it to do and how we can kind of put it in the back seat.
Yeah, it's a great question and a big one. I mean, for me, I'm the same as you. Like, I'm so deep in my healing path, like, it's literally my life's work, but I'll still hear that conditioned part of me or the bit that I've picked up from somewhere that challenges things, you know? Like, I won't just take something from someone, I need to experience it full embodiment in myself before I share that. So, you know, in some ways the ego is really helpful because it does allow us to have discernment and it allows us to be quite centered and grounded, but it's when it starts critiquing that we need to watch it. So for me, it's a feeling that I have, you know, when that voice of the ego comes in, I just check in with my heart and my solar plexus, with my tummy, and I feel how the energy feels, and quite often that will tell me instantly, this feels right, this is truth, I know this is truth because I feel it. And so I just don't buy into what the ego is saying. When it came to like channeling light language, what I notice is as well is when you're receiving it, people's egos will probably resist it a little bit as well. It's that whole thing of like, for me, my experience with light is that actually light is much scarier than darkness. Like, being in our whole self, in our light, in our wholeness is a lot more scary for the ego than it is to be in darkness. So I always notice that it's trying to, you know, protect or sabotage a little bit. And I just come back to choose love, come back to choose what I feel is right.
Yeah, I think you're so right. The light can be overwhelming to actually see, feel, and experience your own power and even that like bliss. It can
Yeah.
be overwhelming. Um, all right, I want to let you just go deeper on the healing power of light language. Krista and I are going to hand it over to you. We'll turn off our videos, but come back and we'll facilitate that 5 minute break before the healing. But um, thank you for this conversation. And everyone, please, utilize the chat. We'll be here to answer, any questions, anything you need. But thank you. Thank you. We hand it
Thank
over
you
to
so
you.
much. Thank you. And yeah, hi everyone again. I'm so honored to be here, to kind of continue this conversation about light language so that you can have maybe a deeper understanding or awareness of it. I'll just highlight a few things. So with light language, the main way that I channel it is through my voice, but because it is energy, because it is essentially light and frequencies, it can be channeled in many different ways. So you might come across light language outside of here as an expression. So some people move and channel light language through the body, and it will be seen as like mudras or intuitive gestures that their body is just naturally doing. And so, in that sense, you would kind of watch that person expressing it, and you would receive the light language in that way. When it comes to it being channeled through the voice, the reason why I think it has such an impact is if we break it down. So, we talked about how we are energetic, vibrational beings, and therefore we receive sound in such a direct way. I think that's why sound healing has become so renowned. You know, it's an ancient healing tool, but actually, um, it's almost had a reawakening right now on our planet, and it has been prophesized as sound would be the medicine of the future, and I believe the future is now. You know, we're seeing how sound is being a treatment for cancer, how it's getting into the cells, how it can treat ailments, how it can help us raise our consciousness, shift emotional states. There's so much wisdom and research out there. And so we already understand that sound is a very powerful healing tool. but there's something about the human voice. There's been studies that I've seen that have shown that the human voice is the most potent way to channel sound for healing, and that has the most profound effect. And you know, you could go deep into why that is, but I think we can feel it, can't we? It's like when you listen to someone sing, or when you hear someone's voice, there's a deep resonance, or there's not, or we don't connect. But when we do, we can feel it in full embodiment. So when it comes to light language being channeled through the voice, I believe that it's so potent because we connect so deeply to the voice, and the voice has this power to channel energy into us so directly. And if you think about medicine people, so shamans who work with plant medicines, for example, they channel what they call ikaros, which are songs. And these songs, these ikaros, they come from the divine, they're channeled from spirit, and they channel them into the medicine space to protect the space, to call in those spirits. And so I kind of think of light language as a little bit like that. So when I'm channeling, the beings, the angels, or the earth energies that are coming through me are coming to speak to you on a soul level. They're not coming to necessarily communicate on a mind, on a mental level. They're really coming to speak to the heart and the soul. And that's why I always say light language needs to be felt and experienced. Like, I could talk about it all day, but it wouldn't mean anything to you until you were in that healing space with your eyes closed, like really receiving it. And I would say, when you are receiving it today in this journey, be open to whatever comes forward in your body. Know that there might be resistance, and that's okay. Resistance is fine, just let it be. Just know that quite often that is a thing when you first experience light language, and then something tends to happen where it moves through that resistance and expands into your whole being. It just has this way of activating your cells, activating your heart, activating your soul, and speaking to you on a level that the other things I'm yet to find, you know, something more deep in that sense, in a soul level. Um, and I guess to round this off, to try and help kind of share some more personal experiences, because I know they help a lot with understanding things. I remember when I was holding a womb awakening ceremony, which Krista and Lindsey experienced, the one we did with them in LA with my dear sister Felicity, and we shared light language there. But also I did them around the UK, and I remember this one ceremony in the UK earlier this year that I did, and as I was channeling light language on this one person, she started to purge, she started to physically be sick. So the energies that were coming through were so strong, they actually purged old energies out of her system, and she had to throw them up. That's how kind of direct it can be. And another thing that's coming to my mind is, in lockdown this year in London, I was walking in the forest with my partner, trying to get some nature time. And the light and the flowers were so beautiful. I said to nature, I'd love to have a song, please, Mother Earth. I'd love to connect to this land and channel a song if there's one. And I was on a water fast at the time, and so I was really open, and I didn't actually know that I was pregnant at that time as well. So I was very much connected, and as I walked through the forest, this song instantly came, and it stuck in my mind that whole day. And the words in that song that I was channeling, the light language words, were Shikota and Shikata, and they really stuck with me. And the next day when I came off the fast and I went back on my phone, I looked up the words, and I never normally do this. I normally just channel and allow the words to come and the codes to come. But sometimes there's a feeling that I need to understand what is coming. It's so important. And when I looked up those words, I think Shakota meant forest in an old Sanskrit language. And then Shakata in Native American meant alive, intuitive, psychic. And it meant gift from God in another language, in an African language. So essentially what the message that I was channeling was, forest is The forest is alive, the forest is psychic, the forest nature is a gift from God. And it really, like, it was very profound to actually understand and be reminded again of what is actually coming through. You know, that we don't understand on a conscious level, but our soul, our spirit does. So I just wanted to share that, to remind you that today, when you're receiving the language, you don't need to translate it, but you may receive messages through it. Some people do. Some people really do get a translation or a knowing or a feeling in your heart, or it might be more physical. Um, so yeah, I think that's enough. I think the most important thing is that you experience this healing and receive. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, I would love to just take a few minutes for anyone that needs water, wants to go to the bathroom, get cozy, just needs to situate themselves. Um, the healing itself will be about 40 minutes or so. Um, so just with that in mind, if you have, people in the house, maybe let them know that you're going to be in your little cocoon for 40 minutes receiving healing. But I'm so excited. So we'll take about 5 minutes. So we'll come back at our time. It will be 10:43 a.m. I won't waste any time. Just make sure you're in a quiet, comfortable space. I'll let Josie share any other physical preparations that you might need, but we will be receiving healing as well. So I'm really excited. Thank you again.
Mhm. Thank you so much, lovely beings. I hope you enjoy receiving. And yeah, just to highlight some of the things that you should be aware of before we go into this journey. The most important thing is that you're comfortable. So please just check in with your surroundings now. You should ideally be lying down for this so that you're fully surrendered, fully in that receiving state. You'll have your eyes closed for the whole thing. So you might want to check out your lighting, if it's light and it's morning or day where you are, maybe shut the curtains a little, or maybe you like the daylight. But yeah, just really create your little sacred space essentially for these next few minutes. And one thing I will say is, even if it's warm where you are, be mindful that when you're receiving energy healing and sound, it can sometimes shift your temperature in your body. So if you get cold, you might want to have a blanket close. Just keep all your comforts close in case you need them. Support your head with a pillow. What's really nice is sometimes to put a pillow underneath your knees so that your lower back is supported as well. And then in terms of the actual journey, as I guide this journey, this is a guided journey where you are going to be receiving spiritual healing, energetic healing, and light language and sound. It's a real fusion. And the way that everybody responds will be so unique. So, all I can say is just trust in however you receive it. Try not to judge how you're receiving it. Try not to judge if you have thoughts, passing by, or if you have like resistance in your body. Just try and allow, just witness those things and just think, okay, I am where I am, because then what you'll find with the sound, it really helps to, as I said earlier, become a gateway, and at some point it will start to help you to really sink in. It's an amazing tool for that. And in terms of the guided journey, if you are not a visual person and if you struggle to kind of visualize when someone is guiding you, that's okay. Remember that you have other senses. It's not all about seeing. Sometimes when you're guided on a visual journey, it's more about like sensing, knowing, intuiting, feeling. So if I'm saying imagine this, you don't have to see it. If you're not visual, just know it. Just call that in. Just listen to the words, and that is going into your consciousness. So let go of any of that stuff that you're doing it wrong, or that there's anything extra that you need to do. Just trust completely in that if you can. There's literally no right way, no wrong way. Just literally receive it as you are. Just checking, there's nothing else now. So I think hopefully your space is ready and you can just fully drop inwards now, and I'm going to begin the journey. And so, as we've said, the beautiful thing about this is that there's nothing to do. Absolutely nothing. Just close down your eyes. And just bring all of your awareness inside. Losing that distraction from life, from the world, taking all of your focus inside to connect to your inner world. Let go of any expectation. Know that your higher self is guiding you on this journey. You will receive the medicine that you need to receive. And so there's nothing to control, nothing to expect, just simply being. Knowing that even though we are not together in the physical, spirit and energy knows no boundaries. It will meet with you, your body, your spirit directly. And so if you feel any sensations, twitches, movement, welcome it all. This is your body's way of letting go of the old and welcoming in the new vibrations and new light into your system. Please know that if you drift away from my voice or you're guided to sleep, that's also okay. Sometimes the deep work that needs to go on is so deep, we need to be in another state of consciousness. So again, just trust in your experience. And most importantly, give yourself permission to be here now. Give yourself permission to heal and to receive. Knowing you will be met exactly where you need to be met. And to affirm that trust in your body, in your journey, in your process. Just inwardly repeat this affirmation as I say it. I willingly open and expand my consciousness. I am open to receive healing, trusting in however I receive it. nothing to fear, that you are held with pure love, divine love. Bring your awareness to your breath and imagine that every in-breath you are breathing in these crystalline frequencies. You're breathing them in to your body, into your energy, your heart. Every in-breath you're deeply receiving these healing tones and feeling them washing through you, scanning you, opening up your consciousness. And as you lie safe in your sacred space, connecting to the sounds, connecting to yourself, feeling supported from below and activated from above, we take a moment to call upon your guides, your spirit teams, calling upon your ancestors, your animal guides, any loved ones in spirit, the angelic realm, all light beings, star beings who wish to assist and support with this deep healing and activation in mind, body and spirit. And as we call upon your spirit team, you feel this surge of energy surrounding you, within you. This beautiful divine energy coming from your spirit team who walk beside you every step of the way in this lifetime and beyond, and who will be with you every step of this inner journey that you're going on, holding you in divine protection, so that only love and light frequency may enter your space, so that you feel held and safe to fully let go in the knowing that you are surrounded by your team. And maybe you feel an immense love as you connect to your spirit team. Or maybe you feel a warmth or a feeling, a presence. Just allowing yourself to receive that energy. And as your energy begins to expand, as your guides circle you, holding you in this protective circle, they begin to open up a portal of light. And maybe you see this portal of bright white light in front of you, or maybe you sense it above, below, behind. Wherever you are seeing or sensing this portal of light, you begin to move towards it. Your energy is naturally pulled into this portal as your guides transport you through this portal of light, knowing that your soul is able to travel to any timeline that it needs to travel to. And in this moment, you are being guided to go to the mystical lands of Egypt. And as you transport through this portal of light, you find yourself barefoot on sand. And as you begin to walk upon this sand, you look above you and see the midnight sky with the stars twinkling all above you. you find yourself in a corridor lit by candlelight. Walk through this corridor. Each time you come close to a candle, you notice that there are the most beautiful drawings, hieroglyphics, So as you feel these light beings coming in all around you, you may feel an immense amount of love. Allow yourself to receive that love. The light beings begin to open up a huge portal in the center of the pyramid that opens up right in alignment with you on the quartz bed. And through this portal they channel vast amounts of light from the stars, from the cosmos. And this light can be seen as gold. This golden light begins to channel through and meet with the top of your crown. And as this light channels through your crown, you feel these waves of energy, of sensation, as this gold, potent light washes down through your entire system, clearing your energy field of any attachments, entities, of any energies that you've taken on for the collective that are not yours to carry. There is a deep cleansing happening in your aura now as this light permeates through you. Now as this light begins to permeate deeper down into the layers of your being, it moves into your physical body. Take all of your awareness down into your root now. Feel your awareness in your root as you direct this golden light deeply into your root. And this light begins to wash away any feelings of fear, anxiety, or worry, any feelings of not belonging, any feelings of disconnection that you're carrying in your root that makes you feel disconnected from yourself or the earth, the world. You're realigning this energy as this light purges and cleanses all that no longer serves you in your root, all that you've been carrying ancestrally for others is being released. And as this light surges through you, releasing the old, the light beings that surround you, that wish to work with you, begin to channel a deep activation. Isia connosura kaya connusiera connura chiera iti andoro connosatiara connosu ai ancora isia connura chia indara connosia catea cotua isira connura catiataro connosira ira connosira kaya connura shatiataro connura e andai a conno e a kaya cora isira connura andaiataro condoro shatiataro connura e ataro connura shatia cura shatiataro connura isira cora isiataro condoia shatiataro cottura shatira connossi usara cantira shu. Allow the activation of light to flow through your root and up through your body, feeling how this opening has expanded your root to let more life force flow through your entire system now. And as you feel this energy, this light moving more freely through you, you bring all your awareness into your chest to connect to your heart. And as shatira. I antaro konoia kia kokoia shatiataro konosira katira. I cantaro contoro scintiantaro contuendere shatiro conura shatiataro conura. I sarà contuia. I sarà contondere shatiata tira shatu. I ataro conosira kotura shatiataro conotira shatu. Isarakatai Ashutunno, Isiakora Shitiaya Konora, Ira Konosi Aya Sutura Tira, Ura Kandira Shutura Kandiataro Kotura Shatira, Iakora Shatai Darokotura Shatira Shatu, Shatundara Satira Shatai. Breathing in through the nose and out of the mouth. Yanara conoscere conora, tira shutonora katiataro conosci cura capia con isi conotora katiataro conora, isiataro conora shitira cura, ikaya sotonora, ikaya satiataro conora shitira ko. Shatira conosso, Nira shatira sho, Darasakuno, Yera shatai. And just really stay with your eyes closed in full presence with yourself, knowing the importance of silence and stillness after you receive so many vibrations and activations. And just really sitting with this silence for a few minutes as you connect inwardly and arrive back in your body at a pace that feels good for you, knowing there is no rush. Just simply listening to your body. Maybe you want to wiggle your toes or your fingers first. Just to really ignite that connection with your physical. Maybe you want to stretch out, stretching out your arms, moving your body, touching the earth around you. Knowing that sound is very expansive, it's very opening. It really is this gateway that connects us to the divine that we are. You know, we're not separate from spirit. And I think one of the many reasons why so many people are lost on this planet is because we have forgotten the innate connection we have with the divine. Our ancestors knew and celebrated it and honored it. And so it's time for us as a collective to remember everything we need is within, and to remember the innate connection we have with the divine and how it can fill us up in ways that something physical and material never could. And I hope if this was your first time that you felt something that made you say, yes, I feel this in my body, I feel this in my cells, I'm receiving. But really just trusting in your process and giving yourself deep gratitude for honoring this time for yourself to receive this light. It's so important that we all receive in these times, so thank you so much. I'm really grateful. And I know in a moment we're going to all be grounding back. So just take your time.
everyone.
Hello, everybody. That was, wow. Happy to be back. I hope you guys felt it too. That was amazing.
Good. It was so good to share with you all.
I'd love to see, as we come back and before we get some questions from everyone, was there any prominent message that came through for you during that healing that you thought would be applicable for the collective?
You know, what came through and what always comes through at the moment is this separation vibration. You know, when I've had experiences where I've been meeting with these light beings, this is what they keep coming and saying, like, we need to shed this separation vibration on our planet. It's almost conditioned within us to compete, to have fear, to hold resentment. And really, it sounds, you know, corny and predictable, but we're being invited to come into greater forgiveness. And first, we have to forgive ourselves. And we have to come into our heart space in a much deeper way as we're moving through these times. And once we've found that forgiveness for ourselves, and once we've found a greater acceptance from ourselves, then we can much easier emanate that out in our relationships and to others as well. And so, yeah, what came through in this transmission was some of those messages, you know, some of those simple truths, I guess.
Would love to
I feel like we often try and complicate it, and it always is, you know, that simple. We are one. We are one.
Would love to hear from everyone what if you had physical sensations. I kept having this, like, in the back of my heart, just kind of like almost like the goosebump sensation, but just kind of like pulsing. But would love to hear from people what they experienced physically as well. And then, yes, you can start adding to the Q&A your questions.
For everyone, like, ask anything. Don't feel like anything is silly. Like, anything that you felt or experienced, feel free to share and ask any questions at all. I'm here for you.
Beautiful. Reese felt energy pulsing throughout the entire body. Cam hears another voice with yours, Josie, a beautiful male voice.
That happens a lot. People hear numerous voices. So you're not the first time that someone said that, Cam.
Would that be, do you think, Josie, do you think that would be your team or their team?
No, like, I never like to say, because I always, what someone experiences is their experience. But yeah, there's so much at play when we come into collective healing like this all together. Like, we almost create an army of light. Like, what I found in lockdown through, you know, being organically pushed to go online, is that there is a great power in coming together. And so a lot of our guides and everything, they merge. It's like we're surrounded by these councils of light, and it amplifies the healing in some ways, to be honest.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'm just loving reading.
We got energy waves. I had this beautiful warmth across my belly. A lot of tingling, pulsing warmth, a lot of emotion. The first time light language was used. I usually have lots of emotions coming out of energy healing, but this was completely in my soul space that I haven't felt before. Like I was above myself, powerful, and receiving the healing for the majority of the time. So wildly powerful, not over it.
Wow. That's beautiful. Got some powerful beings in here. Clearly ready for some upgrades.
Yes, this is beautiful. Oh man, I'm loving reading these. So you guys keep these coming. I'm going to start asking our questions in the Q&A. Oh, this is cool. Melissa says, tell me about Ra. That name came through.
Oh, that was so funny
I
because,
I love Ra.
yeah, Krista, I remember listening to your episode about the law of one, Ra, right? And to
Hmm.
be honest, I'm going to hand it over to Krista because it's the first time that I've been really reading into Ra and about it. But yeah, please share, Krista, what you know, because you're like an
Yeah,
expert in
I'm
it.
Melissa. I'm jealous. What the heck? Here I am talking about Ra, and Ra's coming through to everyone. Um, so Ra is like a sixth dimensional social memory complex. So when we talk about unity and we talk about not having separation, what happens as you ascend is that we lose separation and you join with other people or other souls or other light beings, and you become like one memory complex. So you become almost one because you love so much. And Ra is that social memory complex. And Ra has come down to earth a few times throughout our history to spread the message of the law of one. So it's really the messenger of the law of one. So it's unity. So I think that fits with what Josie was talking about with separation.
Wow, I love that.
It's beautiful.
Did Ra,
Okay.
did Ra ever come down, Krista, in like Egyptian times? I'm wondering
Hmm.
about that
Yeah.
correlation, what you guided us through.
Yeah, Ra was in so Ra was a leader in Egyptian times and then two other times. But yes, in Egyptian times. Hmm.
Cool.
Wow. So interesting because, yeah, Egypt came in. I was
Hmm.
originally journeying with the angels, and it was like, no, loads of stuff happened to lead me to lead you guys into Egypt. So I don't know if anyone here has got a connection with Egypt, whether you remembered a past life there. Pretty much all of us have likely had lives in Egypt.
Mhm.
You know what's funny is Justin and I were watching last night of something about the pyramids. And in it, they were talking about going into the pyramids and the healing in the pyramids. So when you led us to the pyramids, I was like, okay, here we go. Um, so yeah, Ra had a lot to do. So Ra had a lot to do with the building of the pyramids, which was essentially like healing chambers and ascension chambers. So that would totally make sense that Ra came through. Okay, love it. Okay, thank you so much, Josie. That was beautiful. Are there any ways you suggest to work on forgiving ourselves individually and as a collective? Love that.
Wow. Yeah. And, let me start by saying forgiveness is not something that happens overnight. It's not something that we can just choose to forgive in that moment. For me, forgiveness has been a process, for example, of first of all, recognizing what I'm not forgiving, and recognizing maybe my part in that and recognizing what it's doing to me when I'm not forgiving, like, is this actually causing me more pain by not letting this go? And sometimes it's not a case of saying it's okay that you did this to me or it's okay that this happened. That's not what forgiveness is. It's just about coming from a higher place of consciousness where you can see that you holding on to that energy is not actually helping you. And so all you can do to be in that control is to work on the energy that you're carrying that feels painful, on releasing it, really releasing it. And so for me, I needed support. We need support to move through forgiveness. So, the support in the form of, for me, it was like my homeopath, who's a healer, who helped me with different remedies to actually purge things from my heart space, energetically, or energy healing, Reiki, sound healing. All of those things were like natural tools that helped me to move the energy. And then essentially it was a choice. Like, I don't want to hold this anymore. I really don't want to. And so I made it everything in my power not to. So even by you asking that question, you're saying already you really want to release it. You're already halfway there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
A lot of people are saying that they felt like at one point they were talking back to you in light language and that it was kind of triggering with them. I experienced that a little bit too. What can you kind of maybe
Yeah,
explain what was happening?
I love that you brought that up because it's something that I meant to say earlier. And so with light language, it's activating. So what I mean by that is, like, it's not like, well, in my, it's not like I run a course and say, okay, this is how you do light language. Just being in the presence of light language activates you and activates your soul. So when you start to hear the codes, something within your cellular memory and within your soul memory is waking. And so you start to maybe channel it through your body or your voice as well. So if anyone experienced that, that's amazing. And I would say that if you enjoy it, or if you want to bring it in, now is the time. And you could just keep listening. I've got free stuff on my page where you could just listen to the light codes and sit there and use your voice and just let it all come out, because it's very healing for self. Yeah, very self-healing, more than any tool that I've used.
Beautiful. And someone was
With this,
go ahead.
I was going to say, with this, with the ticket, we're giving them your light language CD, right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, which is good.
on there, yeah.
Oh, good. And then you guys can listen to that, because I listen to it all the time, and it's so beautiful.
Oh, lovely.
Someone also asked that they were making or with their hands making symbols involuntarily. Have you experienced this before?
That's amazing. Again, that is light language. What you experience there is your gifts being ignited. So not everyone here may channel it through the voice. Like, some of you could get a pen now to paper and open up your channel and say, I want to channel, and out would come light language codes. Like when I draw light language, it's like hieroglyphics almost, and people can even draw magnificent art with it. So the fact that you felt it through your hands shows that you're really channeling it through your body. And so the more that you let that out, again, you're going to be letting like all kinds of energies through you, which is incredibly healing.
Great.
I think I remember in Malibu, someone maybe had an experience like that as well. I think I remember people throwing up hand symbols. How long will this healing stay with me?
Wow. I mean, from my experience, when we receive healing in any form, like, it's not like it goes away, but we have so many layers. So this healing has met you where you need to be met in this moment. And it's up to you and your system how that integrates. So sometimes people have quite strong healing reactions after these. So feeling sluggish or emotional, stuff purging. So if that happens, know that that's part of the process of the integration of that energy. And then in terms of like how long will it last, it really, I could never say. It's really like up to your system and what you're moving through and what it's like supported you with, which is up to spirit really more than anything.
Beautiful. Melissa says, at the end, I traveled back through the stars. I saw a bright blue light. Do you have any idea what this means?
Well, whenever I think of blue light, I think of Palladians. I think of various different star beings, but definitely Pallades. So I feel that you're connecting to your star system there, to your star council, and receiving that light, which is really profound, beautiful.
Wonderful.
I've heard the same. Beautiful. If I listen again, will I still get benefit, since we are not all healing in synchronicity?
Yes, absolutely. So like, yeah, whenever I do these transmissions, not everyone can always attend them live. And so they're always like, oh, wow, it's just the same. I feel everything just the same. It's really quite amazing. I think it's to do with our intention, and the sound and everything that goes into it. You could listen again and again, and you'd probably get something different every time. It's not just that you need to be there live.
And going into the rest of the day and just into this week, is there anything that we can do, just to like help integrate this even more?
Yeah, I think like it's really important when you receive healing like that, not to try not to rush back into doing. So try and allow yourself to be, because when you're being It's our most natural state. You're just really allowing things to surface. So anything that needs to surface today should be given the space. So I know for me, it's like nighttime here in the UK, in Dorset. And so for me, it's going to be a case of, for example, eating some grounding food, some really nice, alive, grounding food that's going to nourish me and fulfill me and sustain me. And then just sitting and being. So, but if you've got the whole day ahead of you, I would get into nature. I would allow Mother Nature to ground you. Even a simple walk outside with the trees, or being with flowers, or whatever you have around you, the ocean would be amazing, because nature just really helps us to integrate these energies quicker. So that would be my advice. And tons of water. That's the main thing. Just drink a ton of water to let your system purge anything else out today.
Beautiful. We had, I just been looking at the chat too. It's really beautiful. What's everyone saying? You guys, it's so funny. Like whenever we do these, you guys are always so powerful. All of you. Blair saw a giant stone head inside the pyramid when she was making her way in the temple. In the beginning, she kept seeing flashes of what looked like the view from inside of a ship, alien ship, like uniquely shaped windows and tunnels that could see stars out of. The views felt emotional. I have a huge connection to Egypt and was watching something about the pyramids the other night. So we were all preparing.
Oh, wow. I really felt that as well. I felt this group, we're all going to be in it together. There's a reason why we've gathered.
Wow.
Yeah, like you say, so many in tune beings in here that are just so connected. Incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, we can wrap up and crack on. So for everyone receiving your album, I'd love to just let them know, how that came to be, and if there's a way to listen to it, or if like they can do it anytime. What do you suggest?
Yeah, so with the album, basically when it hit lockdown, like when things really kind of came consciousness in around March in the world, where we found out about the virus fully, and everything was changing around us. I obviously was in lockdown in London, where I used to live, and I really went inside myself. I was guided very deeply, as I think many of us were, to do work and to connect to spirit. And spirit was like, now is the time. Like, you need to channel these light songs, and you need to channel them to ignite healing and spread consciousness. And they will activate other people's gifts when they hear them. They will activate their connection to spirit. And so you've got to do this. And I'd been thinking about it for years and never had the space. My diary in London was always way too full. Like, I was just deep immersed in being in service for others. So I really was able to basically channel all of these songs. And normally new songs would channel in every 6 months. But where I was so spacious, they were coming in all the time. I couldn't stop them. So the album was like effortless in that sense. Like 11 transmissions came within a couple of months. And funny enough, the week that I started making it was the week that I had conceived with my first baby, who I'm pregnant with now. And I didn't know that. So this soul has a lot to do with that creation. And what I would say about when you receive it, like, of course you can listen to it whenever you want, but the thing is with light language that it does demand some kind of presence, really. So if you can listen to it in presence, so what I mean by that is in a space that feels good, whether it's in nature or in your room with your eyes closed, to really receive the energy of it, because they're kind of like chants almost. They hold like so many codes for you to receive. So if you can just listen to them in presence, in meditation, or just sitting there with your eyes closed, that would be amazing, because then you'll really receive the benefits. And again, if you feel yourself being activated, really sing with it. Let whatever wants to come out, come out.
Beautiful. Thank you for that gift. You all will be receiving that, I believe, on Monday. So look out for that. Um, but yeah, I think it's the spaciousness part is such a powerful reminder, because I do think that, especially during these times when, we're living in a world that feels, yeah, just like things are changing so quickly. There's so much unknown, and we try to busy ourselves with the do so that we feel purposeful and validated in so many ways. And I love that reminder of just creating space so that those even bigger ideas and transmissions and the creativity can have space to come through. Thank you for that. And can't wait to meet your little
I
creation.
know.
Weeks. 8 weeks until they come Earthside. So very excited that they've been part of this.
Oh my gosh. Little baby gets healing all the time. This was lovely, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. What a beautiful way to spend your Sunday. Really just in deep reverence for you. And so grateful that you took the time for yourself, because as we heal ourselves, we heal others. So you guys are really doing the work. So I'm so glad you came. I hope you enjoyed. And then rest and drink all the water today. And Josie, where can they find you online?
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's been deeply amazing to connect with you. And you can find me either my Instagram is Josie Danielle Healing, or my website is josiedanielle.com. Pretty easy. So connect with me. I'd love to connect and stay in connection. And I have a couple more transmissions that I'm sharing until I sign off to become a mama. So hopefully we'll connect again if you want to experience any more.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. Sending you so much love. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Thanks all.
So much, everyone.
Namaste.
Lindsey.
My prayers for you to do the same. I do not show the skin for you. I show myself to know myself. I show for the earth from which I came. My prayers for you